Purple Lotus Samsara here. I am at the Children International Field Office. I was at an appointment at the National Adoption Agency in Delhi, getting mine and my wife's name registered to hopefully adopt an Indian child somewhere in the near future. So I gave a quick phone call to the field office supervisor to see if I could drop in, and an old friend from last year returned my call to come by and check it out. This is the community center of the children that my wife and I sponsor. So let's go check it out.
Okay. Are you done? Yeah. Namaskar. Thank you. Side करना है क्या कुछ? जाते हो?
I'm getting my hat. Thank you. Put my hat back on. Alright, thank you. The same cameraman as last time.
Yeah?
The same camera guy as
Yeah.
last time.
ठीक है? ये DMG चला रही है? ठीक है। मुझे ये भी दो चीज़
इसका अंदर ही होगा सर।
अंदर ही है?
हाँ
ठीक।
Hello. Hi. Sit. Sit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
This is the library. So क्या
वही है हमारे
Go back here.
आर्टिकल्स करवा रहे हैं। तो आर्टिकल्स हमारे कितने होते हैं? फर्स्ट क्या है हमारा? तो ए का यूज हम कहाँ करते हैं? जैसे कि दिस इज अ बोर्ड। बोर्ड कितने हैं? तो एक बोर्ड है तो उससे पहले हम क्या यूज करेंगे? ए क्या यूज करेंगे? देन फिर कौन सा आर्टिकल है हमारा? एंड। तो एंड हम यूज करेंगे
various teaching learning material just to make this session very happening, very interactive with the kids. So today they are teaching them the articles.
A E I O U। तो उन्हीं साउंड से पहले हम किसका यूज करेंगे? एंड।
She's a volunteer.
Morning.
क्या कर रहा है? बैठो बैठो। Okay. This is the another batch. You know, क्या हो रहा है बताओ?
इनको अभी आर्टिकल्स मैंने
English.
ओके आई हैव टोल्ड देम definition of articles and they have to fill the worksheet which articles will use in the sentences.
Oh,
And
okay.
another is the use of is MR, so these TLMs. Then they have to learn how where we use that they use for with
In the sentence,
yes,
right?
This TLM, I have used this TLM for to clear the concept. We use the is it she singular noun के लिए and we use and for the I. So
Okay.
it's going there and it's the worksheet activity basis on articles.
Interesting. Thank you.
Compared to this is a bigger group.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Now we are moving towards the computer class.
Hi. Oh, sorry. Hi. Hello. Hi.
Computer and ESL trainer, you can take tips from him.
Oh yeah.
So he also teach in Salam Balak Trust as an intern. So he's taking, spoken English classes with the kids over there. So you can just
Oh, this is this is what
this
I
is
was
what
kind of
we-
doing.
We're doing today.
Yeah.
Now involved and it's
Actually, children they have exams now.
Right.
So we were like practicing some of the things which may come in the
Oh,
exam.
in the exam.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
This
also
is
Magic Partula.
for this.
Yeah, yeah, for this. This is one of the websites we use.
Okay, I might use this website
Yeah.
too.
So in that, yeah, you can use it.
Okay. Okay, so this is for English
Yeah.
grammar, things like that.
Yeah, even for English and maths also.
Okay.
There are some games and activities which children can do.
Okay.
Worksheets they have in this
Okay.
website, and it is specially for the primary classes.
Primary classes.
Yeah, from 1 to 5.
Oh, smaller.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good. That's perfect. Magic Maths. Okay.
Pathshala.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
And we have put a mirror over here just to make practice of spoken English. It gives
Oh,
a
the confidence, right.
building
Yeah.
to an individual.
Right, like talking.
So yes.
Okay, that's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
This is the magic.
Yeah, Magic Pathshala.
Oh, this is it
They're
right here.
running. Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is good. I'm definitely gonna look this.
So in this, like we have different for different classes, like third, fourth, and fifth.
Oh, okay.
And we have different activities like English and maths also. We have.
Oh wow. Okay, this is good. It's good stuff.
So it has
can explore
movies,
that.
games, activities, worksheets.
In fact, this is just what I was looking for. I was searching on Google to find something like this, so this is perfect.
Yeah.
You're on the right.
You can use
Yes.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
There is not much activity. This is the community part. You can see. Like.
Oh, this was like the letter writing,
letter
right?
writing.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Today, our work is one field officer is engaged on family record update. Yeah. Thanks.
Oh. Oh yeah, dental.
This is dental.
Hello.
Yeah, Dr.
How are you?
Gitanjali is here,
Hello.
dental assistant Newman. So I hope you are aware about
Yeah,
the
yes, yeah.
activities.
Yes, yeah. I remember this from the
BSS,
last
this
time.
Is the same. So and right now BSS is going on, basic screening survey.
Okay.
Of like we have target to cater 4,700 kids by end of March.
Okay.
So that's the
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And this is the again. बेटा थोड़ा side होना.
Hello.
This is the family record update. Namaste. So we have prepared this card for 2019.
Oh, okay.
And for this kid,
Oh.
participation photo done, annual checkup done, basic survey done. So this is the only part they have to complete today. So
Oh, okay.
family record update. So that's going on.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Come.
Medical room.
थोड़ा सा साइड लीजिएगा एक बार. आप क्या कर रहे हो बेटा? अच्छा थोड़ा पीछे. So Dr. Akshi is here, Ritika medical assistant, and the curative is going on. Curative services. Carry on. Thank you much.
Excuse me. Thank
बेटा
you.
थोड़ा साइड हो जाइए. हाँ.
Hello. Morning.
This is the nutrition center. So they are the malnourished kids having nutrition for the day.
Yeah, I remember you last time they have like a different programs for like different levels of malnourished.
There are three severely malnourished and moderately malnourished. So ये कौन से हैं? 5 दिन वाले 3 दिन वाले? Okay, they are moderately malnourished children, and they receive nutrition meal 3 days in a week at our center.
So how is that How is it gauged, moderate or too severe, like from the doctor?
Yes,
Okay.
after doctor's recommendation, once doing the annual medical checkup, we generate the list according to their body mass index,
Body mass
BMI.
index, BMI, right?
Yes,
Okay.
we follow
So
that.
like body fat.
Yes, BMI.
Right.
So accordingly.
Oh, nutrition room.
Yeah.
Oh. Excuse me.
Yungri.
I'm just gonna talk in this for a minute and then I'll come back. So as you can see here, they gave me my very own bindi, which is a part of the culture for welcoming me, the guest is God concept that they have here in India. This is the Children International Community Center with a medical room, the nutrition room, and doctor's office, as well as the school that you can see upstairs. So this is going to conclude the rest of the video for now, and I'm going to sign off. What's up, guys? Purple Lotus Samsara here again. So in the meantime, I am at this Haldiram's, which is like a corporate Indian type of restaurant that's located all over India, but that's not what the video is about. So the continuation of this is in the last video you saw me at the Children International Community Center. In the meantime, I went into a slum colony to visit a sponsored child, and I am not allowed to film inside of the sponsored child's colony due to the Child Protection Act, according to the field office director. So I was not allowed to film inside to see their living conditions and so forth. But in reference, it is very similar to the last video in the Dayabasti slum colony. It's pretty much the same. It's a little bit more open and not as congested as the other one was located under the freeway. But so right now what we're doing is the field director jumped through a few hoops for me to be able to do this, because there's normally a lot of red tape that you have to go through. There's a main office in Kansas City, Missouri that normally you have to contact, but since this is my third time in total visiting sponsored children, they kind of bypass a little bit of that red tape, considering that I'm doing humanitarian work in Delhi, working with Salam Balak Trust, teaching English. So I had the opportunity to spend a few hours, since it was located near the National Child Adoption Office. So they extended the courtesy to me to allow me to visit this sponsored child. So they are in there, in this Haldiram's, getting some food right now, as I have a brief window to spend a little bit of time with them before I return back to Delhi. I'm in Rohini, which is on the very, very outskirts of Delhi. So this was my update. Upon them coming out, I'm gonna shoot a little bit of video just to give you an idea of, you know, what they're like and what they look like and so forth. So we've been sponsoring children for about 5 years. We have 2 right now, which, I mean, we is my wife and I. We have one boy in Calcutta. His name is Suman. He's gonna be, I think, 12. And Sandhya here is 7. She's gonna be 8 in a few weeks. And we've been sponsoring her for about 2 years, and sponsoring Suman for about 5 years. And I'm gonna go a little bit more into detail about what child sponsorship does later on. So I'm gonna get back in there right now and have some food and continue when I get out. Okay, so I'm here with sponsored family. This is Sandhya, Sarah, Prince. I know Prince. Their mom, a social worker. Your name?
Yes, Kumari.
And Kapai, I met from last year. So we went there and got them some household items, some dishes, a chopper, and some toys that he put in his bag right away. So, yeah, this was the visit. We came to the big bazaar here, big market in Rohini. So, a great visit. Say hi, Sanjay. All right, so that's it. Purple Lotus, Samsara. What's up, guys? Purple Lotus, one more time. I wanted to elaborate on today's video. I apologize for the quality. It's not usual that I kind of throw these together. My morning plan was to spend my day, or at least part of my day, at the Central Adoption Resource Authority, or CARA, what they call here in Delhi. Well, in India, it's the government-approved adoption agency. I decided to try to go ahead and register me and my wife's name into the large pool of potential applicants to adopt Indian children. Understanding the way that they do it here, you know, people have to fly to India just to do the paperwork. You know, you can't like do it wherever, you know, in your country. You can do a little bit of preliminary questions and stuff, but you know, you need a face-to-face to do it. So I figured, you know, how many times I'm in India, you know, I'm here, and that's the eventual plan for my wife and I, for at least to try, since our children are bigger now, most of them are out of the house, to adopt an Indian child. The criteria is a little bit weird. You know, you have to be combined age of less than 100 to adopt a smaller child, or less than like 80 for a smaller child, or less than 100 combined age for a older child. And like special needs or older children are easier. If you want a smaller child, it's harder. If you're a single male, you can't adopt girls. If you are a same-sex couple, you have to be married for X amount of years. So there's, you know, there's a process. Like in any country, there's a process for a child adoption. And in the meantime, like I mentioned earlier, I made a few phone calls to the Sponsored Child's Resource Center field office to see if I could drop in. And there's usually some red tape that goes through their main office in the United States, which they did do that, but they bypassed the normal time out. Usually have to give several weeks, but considering my circumstances, I'm already here in India, and I already came last year, and my wife and I went to Calcutta a few years ago to visit our other child. They're a little bit familiar, and they know that we're genuine in this aspect, and you know, kind of can be trusted. So after a really long day and walking through another slum, I got a big bad headache. I just got back, so I wanted to kind of touch base. So what happened was, yeah, I made these phone calls. They said, hey, where are you? I said I was here. They said, if you can come by, you know, you could spend a few hours. So I went ahead and I went by the field office. They contacted Sponsored Child parents, which live maybe about 2 or 3 kilometers in a nearby slum colony, to meet up at the community center. So they had a driver go and send for them and pick them up. The community center is what I filmed earlier. So what I did was I went into their home like I did previously last year. They did not allow me to film due to the Child Protection Act, and that's one of their policies and procedures, which of course I can respect that. That's not a problem at all. Which, as much as I did want to get their slum colony on film, you know, to kind of point A to point B, getting to their house, kind of surprise them. That wasn't a part of the video. So I basically went there. I met their father. The father took a day off of work. He is a street barber. Previously last year, I did not get a chance to meet him as he was at work. It was just the mother and the 3 children, Prince, Swarab, and Sandhya. Sandhya is the actual one that is getting sponsored, but I like to consider it as sponsoring the entire family. So actually, after what we did there, we went to a nearby shopping center to have lunch at Haldiram's, which you saw earlier in that video. Had a little bit of Indian food, and then we decided to go for some shopping. So the social worker asked me if you know, what if I had any preference. I said, you know, if they had anything that they could use for their home, you know, any kind of necessity, if they needed a new electric burner, or if they needed maybe some beddings, or if they needed some new water jug containers, or whatever it is that they felt that was a necessity. So what the mother relayed was that they needed a new like a chopper, a vegetable chopper and a grinder. It chops vegetables and it grinds spices, which they can also use to sell those spices after they get grinded down, you know, coriander or turmeric and things like that, which makes a lot of sense because it's a potential income earner when they can grind down these spices and be able to sell them. And they wanted some dishes. So the mother picked out a set of stainless steel dishes, cups, forks, and knives and culinary items and so forth, and bought a few water guns and some minor toys for the children, and also took them some activity books, Spider-Man books, coloring books, cutting things, and this and that. And on the way back, after this happened, the mother had a little episode in the car where she cried. You know, I couldn't get this on film because she was sitting like 3 feet away from me. It would have been a little bit awkward. She was translating to the social worker how she was worried about me spending the extra money after, you know, coming all this way to visit, and you know, buying them lunch and bringing them the coloring book, activity books and stuff like that to get these items. It came out to about 4,000 rupees, about 3,800 rupees, which is about $40, about $40 or $50 altogether, $45, something like that. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, her father is a barber. He makes about $90 per month in a busy month. On the low end, he makes about 70. So this was 40% of their income in one shopping trip to buy these necessary items. I say this not to brag, it's just to give you an idea of how much it would burden them, in a sense, to get these items that are necessary for their home. And she was worried, and I said, hey, you know, get this and get that, you know, that it's fine. And I've never in my entire life have encountered somebody who have cried or has just been so ridiculously appreciative for receiving dishes and receiving a spice grinder. You know, like in America, you get those things from Walmart, or you get those things as a gift on a whim that you give somebody for Christmas, or a housewarming gift or something like that. I mean, I told the social worker, hey, get them whatever, you know, they want. I mean, of course, within necessary, you know, and within a reasonable circumstance. The agency frowns on entertainment items, video games, TVs, things like that. She said, hey, we needed this grinder, we needed these dishes. So they got that, and she expressed her gratitude over and over and over and over until she cried in the car. And she says, you know, like I am a godsend, which is, you know, it's reaching too far, because I'm far from that. You know, it's not only me, you know, my wife is the one behind the scenes that works hard, and she keeps it together. You know, it's a collaborative effort, and she allows me to come and pursue this passion. And when I go back home, you know, we're together, and we try to reach this common vision of, you know, not saving the world, but just, you know, making ripples in the world, paying it forward. You know, sponsoring children is something that we are both passionate about, and that I take great pride in sponsoring and spreading the word about child sponsorship to see how far this can go. And in the meantime, when I was talking with the family inside of the home, they were saying some financial constraints has led them to sending their son, Swarov, the oldest, I think he's like 11, to a different school besides their sister, Sanya, because I guess one is free and the other one is, I don't know, I forget what it is, but they have to pay 500 rupees extra to get them extra tutoring because the new school that they went to is not as good and it's not as long and it's not as consistent. So what I did in return is I volunteered myself to cover this cost for them for the rest of their sponsorship, which is huge. You know, 500 rupees in our money is about $8, which is like how much we pay in America for Starbucks. You know, and this is for 1 month of tutoring. It's just an insane, you know, cost for 1 month of tutoring. Sandhya expresses at her age she wants to be a doctor. Her brother expresses that he wants to be a policeman. You know, typical career choices for young children, but she likes to read, she likes to write, they like English, they all have dreams, and you know, dreaming is free, and having ambition is what counts in this life. You know, and I told the social worker, you know, I'm gonna tell you this to tell them that, but I'm gonna follow up because I know that they're gonna depend on it. I'm not gonna just tell them that to make them feel as if, you know, like I'm some big bad rich man, which I'm far not, you know, at all. I mean, you know, I've been unemployed, you know, several times in my life and self-employed, and I've just been dreaming and having passion and drive, and you know, my wife has been you know, the money earner a lot of the times, and I'm coming up with all these crazy loony ideas to try and save the world and to try and pay it forward, because I've took so much before from the world and from the community. So just to give you an idea of what child sponsorship is we pay $32 a month per child, and it goes towards their education. So what you saw in the community center, that's what the child sponsorship money goes to: medical checkups, dental checkups, schooling, education, tutoring, immunizations, all of that stuff. There is 4,700 families in that community that are being sponsored. In that slum alone, there's about 100,000 people. So that's like 5%, you know, 4.7%, which is a drop in the bucket to what really needs to happen, what really needs to take place. So for 2 children, $64 a month is what you're gonna spend on 4 people having lunch somewhere in just a normal restaurant like this. 1 hour, your lunch is over, your money is gone. $64 1 month will go miles and miles and miles, and you will make such an impact in so much people's lives, and they will remember this forever. I push the fact of child sponsorship anywhere in the world, not just India, Africa, Thailand, Philippines, Ecuador, Honduras, anywhere in South America, anywhere that's on your heart. So I apologize, if anything, for the quality of the video, the instantaneous effect that I had on this video, and I hope that I put a little bit of knowledge in your guys' brains, and maybe I struck a chord with some of you, and you can Google up how to sponsor a child, or just look into what you can do for global poverty to end homelessness and to help. And please tell all of your friends to subscribe, to raise awareness. Not for just subscriber glory like some guys want. It's for awareness. If I had 1 subscriber and all they did was spread the word of awareness of global poverty, child sponsorship, working with street children, I'd be happy. That's it. Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe. Purple Lotus Samsara out.